Am I the a-hole for not helping my mom with the rent because it would cut into my vacation fund? My mom has a habit of being incredibly unprepared and unreasonably and irresponsible. And she, 40 years old female, and I, 19-year-old female, don't have the best relationship. Not to get into it, but I moved out when I was 16 and ended up moving in with my BF almost 3 years ago. I've been working since I was 15, and anytime my mom didn't have money for something, which was often like every other day, she came to me, and no matter what, I always gave it to her. Even after I moved out, there was a period where I was single-handed paying rent of myself and them. Her BF, my 2 younger siblings, 8 female and 13 male. It's always screwed me over because she has never paid me back a cent, even though she says that she will. And I've given up asking because at this point, I don't know how she is. With that being said, my boyfriend and I have been saving to go to our first trip together next week. All this has come at the time when I'm transitioning jobs, so I'm not working at all the week prior to this trip. That means all the money I have is set aside for bills and the trip costs. My mother, yet again, isn't going to make rent and has asked me for help, and I straight up said no. I told her I couldn't afford to give anything until I have started my new job after the 15th. She's upset because she feels like I'm being selfish by not thinking about the kids and not just letting my BF foot the bill. She says I should be putting my family first, but I'm tired of basically being the second parent and taking on responsibility that isn't even mine. Now she and her BF are being cold towards me and my siblings. Notice that change in the attitude, especially because my mom is panicking trying to make up the money. I kind of feel bad, but I'm also fed up. Am I the a-hole?
NTASHE is their mother, not you. Maybe she should consider that before whatever reckless spending she is doing, based on what you described. Enjoy your trip. Yep. her kids are her responsibility. You've already given up more than you ever should have been asked to. Next time she comes around. If you want money again, you first have to pay me back $insert amount here. Honestly, you shouldn't give her money, Nymer. If you want to help your siblings with something they need, you can buy it for them directly and not give mom money, because we know how irresponsible she is. Absolutely agree with all of this. And if you want to help out your siblings, buy them what they need, clothing, school supplies, whatever, but don't give your mom cash to buy stuff for them. But yeah, if she is dependent on you financially, then you have the right to access her bank statements and pay stubs. And what you have been doing all this time is enabling. Your mother will never get her act together as long as you enable her. Going forward, no mother, I can't give you money, but I can sit down and help you create a budget so that in the future you will make rent on time. She is using the excuse of putting family first to take advantage of you. Which means she is putting herself before her own children. You are not obligated to pay for her expenses, and you have been more than generous up until now. Maybe if she made an effort to pay you back, you would have been more forthcoming with another loan. Your mom is emotionally abusive. She's the parent, not you. She should be providing you stability, not the reverse. She shouldn't be withholding affection from you due to your inability to support her. Your mom is using you and manipulating your emotions to get what she wants. It sounds like your mom forgot who the parent is in this situation. You say she's panicking and hustling to make up the money. Let her panic. Let her hustle. You worked hard and saved up for your trip, it sounds like you needed. Don't let her irresponsibility take that away from you. You have every right to be fed up. Yes. Absolutely, let her feel the consequences of her irresponsibility. As long as she is going to get bailed out every month by OP, she has no motivation to change. And if OP is 19 and mom is 40, she, mom, has many decades of being manipulative and taking advantage of OP, given the opportunity. Because it sounds to me more like she is mismanaging her money instead of being truly destitute. If you're in the US, the eviction moratorium has been extended until the beginning of October, so your innocent siblings won't be out on the street yet. Your mom needs to learn how to be an adult, a better parent, and most of all, how to accept responsibility for her actions. She needs to take her own advice and put her family first. If you have been living with your BF for 3 years, that's family. How did she parent before you supported her? It's not your responsibility to parent her. You've tried to be kind, but what you've done is actually enable her poor decisions. She and her BF need to be forced to figure this out for themselves. NTA. Your mum sounds awful and frankly abusive. You absolutely should not be bailing her out constantly. Perhaps the wake-up call of an angry landlord or bailiff will get her BF to sort their lives out. I'm constantly amazed on this. NTA. Just because she's irresponsible doesn't mean that you need to bend over backwards so that they can be irresponsible. It's the parent's job to help kids of this age. Not the other way around. The situation would have been different if she would have been a responsible parent. NTA. You might be saving for a vacation, but you need to also be saving for an emergency and the future, which won't happen if you keep paying your mom's rent. She's 40, she still has 25 plus more working years. What does her boyfriend do? NTA. Well, you have your own life and this is something you planned and worked hard for, and it's not like you completely rejected her when you have all the right in the world to do so. Your mum time and time again, as per what you've said, has been unable to handle her finances and you have helped her through most of it. She's just taking advantage of you and it's really not fair to you. NTA. She should be able to take care of herself and her responsibilities. You're no different than a friend she borrows money from. You just happen to be her daughter. But at the end of the day, it's the same thing. NTA. Your mother and her boyfriend are adults and can either figure it out or find a new place to live. Stop being her emergency fund. She isn't your responsibility and she never was. You keep bailing her out so she doesn't learn any lessons from screwing up. It's sad but not your problem.